So my relationship with the roguelike as a genre is a bit complicated. For the longest time I didn't think I was a fan, but then I played the Paper Mario mod Black Pit. That opened my eyes to the fact that I was more of a fan than I thought. I enjoy the process of playing a game in short but repeated segments, especially when they're on the roguelite side, and I unlock more abilities the more times I try again. I do enjoy games that allow me to customize my abilities based on my playstyle. It's why I'm a fan of RPGs, despite the fact I don't play too many modern RPGs these days due to their length. There's just one problem. Most roguelikes are action-oriented, and revolve their entire gameplay loop over said action segments. Is it really that hard to find a roguelike that's more turn-based? No, but the problem is they tend to fall in the deck builder genre, which maybe I'll warm up to it in the future, but right now feels too much in the other direction. There's a couple that catch my eyes. Things like Dicey Dungeon are a lot of fun, but I'm still kind of getting a feel of where I fit best in the roguelike genre world. And that is why I decided to stream this game. It was recommended to me as a creature collector with roguelike elements, so I figured that was enough of a reason to give it a chance. So let's dive in and see what Kadomon Hyper Auto Battler is all about. We'll get into synergies and all that a little bit. So on the demo I played with the water. I kind of just like gravitating towards water in general, but I think it actually, since this is just a tutorial, I don't know if it'll really matter. When we actually begin the game proper, if we get around to doing so, I'll pull out a little more. I'll do something a little different then. How about we start with fire and ice? And I can find out really quickly if the types actually, if there's actually type advantage or anything like that. So you don't have to win every battle, but you lose morale every time you do battle, and if that hits 0, then it's game over. That I did this on a Steam Deck for the demo, and like it has a little mouse pad, so it works, but I could definitely see this being a game more oriented towards using a mouse and being on the computer screen in general. But I guess it is worth knowing that if you're comfortable enough with the touchpad on the Steam Deck, you can get it to work on there. It's more miserable than actually doing it on a computer, but you can get it. I guess there is a bonus damage thing. Good lord, I'm not gonna renumber all the typings for this game. Oh cool, I don't recall if that chart was in the demo or not. If it was, I definitely didn't find it. I don't know, I feel like this might be a little too hand-holdy, and I can just figure it out myself. But that might also just be because I've gone through it before. I do remember being incredibly overwhelmed when first trying the demo with how much they explain before you even start attacking. I'd have to actually sit down and brainstorm what would be the best way to do it, but off the top of my head, like, if you're gonna tell rather than show, then maybe like at least divide it up for when you're actually in the action. But that's the only thing I could think of. That's cool and all, sir, but I didn't even get a chance to read the description. Yeah, I didn't even get a chance to see what my little buddy's all about because I was too busy reading what you were saying. It's fine. It's the first battle. I know it's kind of with no consequence. This little guy even getting a chance to do anything to me? Here. I was hoping that we could at least see some of the types and all that. Kind of get a gauge for our little, as we go around. So like, oh, the battle's over. I'm sure we'll get a chance to see it, and I'll get a chance to better explain things afterwards. As you might, this is our team so far. This little guy's great, but he's clearly only there for filler, because I think his quote-unquote special ability is that when he's fragile. On faint, release self. So as far as I can tell, this is like the one ally in the entire game that is temporary. Like, if it falls once, it's gone forever. From what I recall, if the creatures that can attack the back are the ones that have like Archer logos. I don't remember exactly, but I know I'll recognize it when I see it. Oh yeah, the synergy. I kind of glossed over that. When you have enough creatures of the same type, like 2, you get a special passive ability. So since we have 2 ice creatures, we have the ability to... I think we get the slow ability, which is pretty self-explanatory. Now I think more about it, like lets them actually do more. It makes the enemy move slower. Ooh. I found this quite a bit, but this berry is... I'm getting a lot more mileage out of this berry than I thought. I thought it was a consumable item, but it sure likes to keep coming back and healing us up. Alright. Money and recruit a little creature. I can't believe I forgot already if, like, 3 would be getting cool, because this would probably be a good opportunity to get it. What are your abilities? Convert all my ice into fighting. Or... oh, convert all slow into damage. That might have good chemistry with how many ice creatures we have. Anything gain 1 attack and some speed. Secure 1's the first things I remember that actually can attack things in front. I don't know. It might be good to have a little fire diversity too, but man, if there's that bonus for having 3 of the type, then this would be worth it. Otherwise, I want this because then we would have 2 waters and 2 ice, and so we would have 2 special bonuses. As the last battle ends, your celebrations were cut short by an earth-shattering rumble. You and 3 members of your party look at each other cautiously and agree to track down the source. After days of exploration, you come across a stone chamber containing a glowing ancient tablet adorned in runes. Your party seems nervous if they know what the symbol means. The rune symbols appear to be just slightly out of the stone. Perhaps they can be pushed? Well, I wish I could talk to them, but... guess I'll push the one with the shape that looks the prettiest. I mean, this seems to be a cool shape. You press the rune and it turns off. Things seem to be shifting in the world around you. There's a bright flash and you find yourself back outside with the tablet gone. You're unsure if you need to find it again and push it more or not. Well, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I remember the events being more eventful, but that was also our first one. They appear to be having a flash sale where items are selling for much cheaper than usual. They must have been quite busy before you arrived. The shopkeeper appears to be visibly worn out, falling asleep mid-sentence if it's an attempt to serve 2 random items, but lose 3. That's great. Sure. Why not? You try to get John's attention, but they aren't paying attention. At all. After trying to wake them up for a while, you decide to use a small amount of force to wake them up. One of your party members slap directly in the face. So after punching a dude in the face and getting handsomely rewarded, we press onwards. So the water's infantry to splash, and we have some slow from before. Maybe I should have thought about that before charging right into a set of electrics, but I guess we'll find out the hard way. So if you haven't caught on yet, this game has a pretty lengthy tutorial. In the game's defense, it does have a lot to explain. But it does lean a lot on tell rather than show, especially early on. It's a nice game with a visual art style, but there's still a bit of rough in the polish. Almost like the game's in early access or something. Oh wait, it is. Either way, I can't be too harsh on it until I get out of the tutorial. Problem is, depending on how you define the tutorial, said tutorial lasts the entire stream. So it would be nice to someday come back to this so I can put a little more time into it. And maybe it'll have some updates by the time I get back around to it that will really enhance the experience. For now though, we just gotta deal with the game the way it is. There is some fun stuff that happens along the way, so hopefully you'll have the patience to join me for the rest of this quest. As we get more familiar with the controls, and pick up on more creatures to collect, the game begins to pick up. In fact, I'm already starting to see some potentials with the different combinations we can play around with. Oh, you're already like a 3-typer. That's pretty special. What's this do? Fire Slime. An attack deal 3 to a random enemy. Considering that's probably the thing that kind of kicked our butts before, I feel kind of safe taking you. I mean, Dressrosa is also an interesting concept because I found something interesting about the ability to just slap a type onto any creature that you want. But I never had a 3-typer by default before going into one of these. So I know with the 2-typers they'll just add grass onto them. I know we have never actually even used you before, but you show a lot of promise already, so... Well, I already seem on a roll with just taking all the mystery events if we come across them, so... Why stop now? Why not? I didn't see if I actually won or lost any, and I wasn't using enough stuff to actually really even know. I don't really see the difference between 1 or 2, but I can tell there is a difference. So I guess that's better to learn now rather than later. Alright, let's get into it. Well, at least we seem to be doing better than before, and more importantly, the electric creatures aren't completely kicking our butt. You know, for a game that promotes a lot of your allies are safer in the back, my allies in the back have been taking a significant amount of damage. That's fine. I mean, I have to have abilities for a reason. Okay, this is a screen I probably care about. Alright. Yeah, I definitely see that dirty experience that you have that I gave you in effect there. Who do I want? I think I'll grab you. You know, I had a lot of creatures in my demo run that had this by default, and it was kind of fun. So, sure, I'll get an ally horn. So I'll go this way. I don't want to miss out on the camp event either. I didn't even pay much attention to what we're going up against though. Unfortunately, not a good time to bring in a little. So I'd rather have the water and the ice symmetry. I was hoping to like equip it onto one of our active party members, but I suppose not. I am enjoying the music, so there is that. Unfortunately, like because I'm learning and all the action's automated, I don't got too much to talk about. Yeah, I'm trying to be a little too focused on the game to actually just go off on like random talks about how things have been all that, because I'm trying to figure out how this game works as I go, which requires like watching what happens to some degree. If we do get a chance though, I wouldn't mind like going into how my day has been. I forgot that this is only the tutorial and we're like already 40 minutes in. Oh, this is like the ability of Sticky Sniper. Attacks the back enemy. We don't really have too many herbs, and I would like to expand the diversity of our team a little bit though. I guess we'll take Pebble. Oh, the bag. That's right. We can always go here if we want to move items around. So I think with all the, I don't know, you'd be good against the grass, but I don't know if you'd be good against the earth. After a moment of pause from my end to assess our situation, find the best team combination of little creatures and items, and see if there was anything of interest in the shop, I decided to press onwards. As I was saying before, the music is pretty nice. I don't know, maybe I should arrange the team, but this seems like a good setup. The grass user is in the... Did you just hurt your own allies, or was that an attack boost? With more time and experience, I become more comfortable with the game. Heck, I can even tell stories again. Sorry, I will say despite the fact I spent way longer than I thought working on videos, it was a nice morning. The biggest flex that I could think of is I took Pokemon Go with me for a walk earlier on in the day, and the first time in over a year, I finally got a shiny shadow Pokemon. It was a nice Cacnea that Arnold dropped after fighting him, and that's a really cool shiny. I tried to take some screenshots with it, and it almost bit me in the butt because as I was swapping between the AR mode and back to try to get the sparkles, game booted me out of the whole mode. Oh, I guess I'll continue that in a sec, but yeah, there's evolution in the game. With it being a rain cloud, I guess the water typing makes a bit more sense, but they definitely could have gotten away with air and lightning, and it still would have made just as much sense. But I guess the tri-typing is kind of what makes it kind of valuable in of its own right. Let's see what you have. Before attack, grant ally ahead 4 energy. When you get enough energy for a super, granting allies 2 splash damage. I'm a sucker for healing, and that might have good chemistry with my defensive little buddy in of itself. Alright, you're a pure grass. I'm gonna go with my gut and get the happy little leaf boy. So, as I make final preparations for the team and set up camp for the night, me and my Kadomon brace ourselves for the grand boss fight that lies ahead. This may just be the tutorial area, but nevertheless, it all comes down to this. Well, this is a bad time to get real stocked up on water. As much as I want to go for the all water chemistry, I think it'd kind of be foolish not to take advantage of the creatures with type advantages that I do have. Yeah, you're air, so that should be good. I could get a little bit of synergy going with... I'm so morbidly curious if he'll copy the boss, though. Well, I mean, if we have a full party, then there probably wouldn't be room for it anyways. I'm just used to the copy abilities being towards things that triggering when my little creatures get knocked out. Alright. Do I want the Loudner? Or the Summon Horn? And we got quite a bit of diversity in our synergies. That could probably make up for the... That could make up for the lack of all water. Let's give it a shot. I know, auto is literally in the name. I kind of wonder if it'd be more fun if I could have some ways to interact with it during the battle, like swap my allies around and all that. I'm not sure if it'd be too broken. Really give me something to do. I know I can speed it up, but it feels like that would defeat the purpose. There's not too much. Maybe I can afford to go a little bit faster. Hang in there, Creasy. Guess I spoke a little too soon. And if you're fully... I was just about to say, you're fully evolved. Maybe you'll be able to handle this. I gotta see why I talk so quickly. Is Bug good against... From what I can see, Bug's not even good against electric. Oh, it's good against water. Proceed. Well, this is unfortunate, but not surprising. Technically I didn't lose because I still had morale, but... I'm pretty sure this is the end. Oh, that's right, boss fights you'd lose all your morale. So... why am I still going if I lost to the boss? Yeah, so I was assuming that the game would kick us out of the tutorial after the first set, but I guess there's 3. Only the first one is available in this. Click to go in the region. Only the first is available. So, with 2 segments left to go before we complete our quest, our journey has only just begun. However, with this being a long stream, I think this makes a good point to take a little break. Nevertheless, we'll continue our Kadomon adventures eventually, whenever I finish editing part 2. That being said, this is a good time to bring up, if you really enjoyed the series, let me know, especially if you want to see the 3rd segment, because honestly, the first 2 segments were so long of a stream as it is for me, I never got around to playing the 3rd part. So, seeing whether or not people actually enjoy this, now that I edited it down, will be a good indication of if it's worth coming back and streaming more of this. Until then, I've been JackitK, and I'll see you all next time, whether it be for more of this, or something else. Take care.